Hey everybody, how's it going? I just want to make this video to introduce the Eclipse footage and clips and the story leading up to my personal Eclipse experience 2017. And I am getting ready to go out and shoot the Eclipse with 5 different cameras. I'm going to be shooting it with this camera here, which is just a Canon T3i DSLR. Both of these GoPros here, these are cinema cameras that I'm borrowing from a university. Here's a solar filter that I made the video about previously. And then I have another solar filter, which is essentially 4 ND filters, and then another ND filters inside here set to maximum value. I have a Blackmagic digital recorder and a battery for that. So that Blackmagic recorder is going to connect to one of those cinema cameras. Eclipse glasses, you know, always make sure that you've got those. We're ready to go. We are on the road, headed to Albert Lea, Minnesota. That's our first checkpoint. We decided the best route to take is head to Albert Lea, Minnesota, and then head west through southern South Dakota. And we're gonna go through southern South Dakota and then head hopefully back south into Wyoming. And this is because the ultimate goal is to see the eclipse happen. So we want to get out of any cloud cover that may possibly cause us to not be able to see it, and we're going to then, once we have cloud cover figured out, we'll try to get back into the path of totality to experience totality. But the ultimate goal is to see the eclipse, and the stretch goal is to catch totality. Once we got to Albert Lea, we headed west on 90, driving right through Sioux Falls all the way out to where we were expecting to turn off to Alliance, Nebraska. But we saw the forecast for Alliance and decided it just wasn't secure enough to catch the eclipse, and we didn't want to risk it. So we continued driving west, got to Rapid City, South Dakota, and decided then to turn south down to Douglas, Wyoming, which is our final resting point. We are past Sioux Falls. We are on our way to Hartford, where we're going to go to Caribou Coffee. Caribou Coffee is a special place in my heart. I've talked to them on Twitter many a time in the DMs. Really just once. I couldn't go get coffee on my birthday because I give you a birthday thing, so they contacted me directly after I tweeted at them asking about it, and they just switched my birthday in their system to be the day after Christmas. So I get coffee on my birthday, or a day after my birthday. Thanks, Caribou, you're the best. Anyway, that's where we're headed next, and then hopefully onto the eclipse. Now, Alliance appears to have traffic according to Google, so we're gonna maybe try to skirt around that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. So I'm not gonna drive yet, but I still got coffee. Alright, so we are now in Rapid City. It is just about 11:30 Mountain Time. So we ideally will be able to get about 6 hours of sleep. Realistically, probably going to be 5 or maybe 4, I don't know. Just depends on what time we arrive at our destination, which we have now changed to Douglas, Wyoming, just because it is far enough west that cloud cover shouldn't be an issue, really shouldn't be an issue, and it's kind of near a big enough town where there will be people and stuff. So that's the next chapter. That's where we're off to. Douglas, Wyoming was the perfect place to be. There was a wonderful racetrack, and they were raising money for their local hockey team, I believe. So they were selling parking places for $25 a piece, which is amazing because there were bathrooms and concessions there. They had it all worked out. All of the things that I was anxious about. You know, what if we're out here for 6 hours and we got to go to the bathroom? There's nowhere around here. Every concern that I had was quelled by that location, and I cannot thank them enough. It was incredible, and I guess we paid them, so that's how we thanked them. So we stopped on the side of the road to sleep in like a parking zone, like a parking rest area, but there's no like facilities. It's just everybody parked up on the side of the road. And this was right outside of Douglas, Wyoming. Well, now we're in Douglas, Wyoming at the racetrack. And I guess they're selling Eclipse parking spaces for about 25 bucks. So it's a good place to set up. So lots of other people with their cameras. I think it's pretty much the best situation we could have asked for, simply because cloud cover is not gonna happen. And it's only 10 seconds less than Carbondale, so we got a good deal. As far as the actual eclipse itself, I can only describe to you the physical things that I felt during the eclipse, but I cannot put all of those together and compile those into the same experience that I had. It was a one-of-a-kind experience, and there's just no way that I could fully convey that to you, but I will try. It started with simply a sliver of darkness appearing over the sun as you looked through your glasses at the actual eclipse. Nothing really seemed to be changing for the vast majority of the eclipse. Eventually, about 45 minutes after the eclipse began, you kind of started to notice, it's getting a little bit darker, but things got darker kind of exponentially, as opposed to just kind of a linear, gradual darkness. It really didn't get truly darker until about 10 to 5% of sun left, because then you could see, there's lights on at all of the buildings. A lot of cars driving by have their lights on. It was just an incredible change to happen so quickly. Moments before totality, everything changed. Leading up to totality, the air had begun to cool, and you could see clouds building in the opposite direction of the eclipse's motion, meaning it had gotten cold out there and formed clouds as the shadow traveled across the United States. In the couple minutes leading up to totality, the sky got incredibly dark. You could see a couple of the planets out there. I don't remember exactly which ones I was looking at. But then, totality hit. It can only be described as every photograph that you've ever seen of an eclipse is exactly what I could see in the sky. I expected it to just be darkness, and I would have to use my camera to actually see the corona, but no. The corona was completely visible to the naked eye. It was like a 360-degree sunset. Just the moment after the sun goes beyond the horizon, but in every single direction. However, there were still sharp shadows beneath everybody in the direction of the sun. It was one of the most bizarre experiences, and it's getting colder every second. I believe the temperature dropped somewhere between 10 and 15 degrees. I don't know. I didn't actually end up looking it up. It got cold enough I put my jacket on just because I was so used to 70, 80 degree weather. All of those physical things came together to become what was the solar eclipse. And it was a moment of awe. I didn't actually see any shadow bands. There were a bunch of kids behind us who had a white piece of paper, and they could see all the shadow bands, and it was just incredible, and not something you can describe very easily. So after totality had finally completed, it was just the same process in reverse. Everything came back, first really quickly, the light came back very, very fast, and then very, very gradually, and then the eclipse had ended. Now, during all of this excitement, I had been taking photos and one long video, and these photographs turned out incredibly. At the very last second, you can see in the video, right as the camera's taking its last picture, I slide the lens cover on halfway through the exposure. So that image is very, very dark, but it turned out to be a fair shot at the diamond ring image that everybody tries to get. I didn't risk nearly as much as I thought I would to try to capture that diamond ring image, simply because I didn't want to burn a hole in my camera. All of that being said, just as quickly as it arrived, it had left. And I'm sure even now, the fact that I'm uploading this video days after the eclipse has happened, I'm sure just the nationwide interest is lost. But I urge you, if you didn't get to see the eclipse in its totality, go in 2024. when it cuts up through Texas over towards New York. It will not be an experience that you will forget. To those who want to catch the eclipse in 2024, here's my recommendation. Do not reserve a hotel. They will all be sold out within a year of the eclipse, and that's not long enough to know what the weather is going to be like when you're there. It might not be worth your money. My personal recommendation is to go in knowing that you're going to be uncomfortable for the first day and a half. We left Sunday at 1 o'clock, and we didn't get to bed until 3 a.m. Mountain Time, because we're in the Central Time Zone. So that's like 14 hours of driving before we got to a stop, and then I didn't even get much sleep for about 2 hours. It was just difficult to sleep that night with all of the anticipation. Try to find a good place that you can watch the eclipse beforehand and be prepared for discomfort. But don't let that discomfort discourage you, because the experience itself is one that you will not regret going out of your way to see. It is absolutely fascinating, incredible, and one of the most amazing experiences that you will ever be given the opportunity to see in your life. And it's not something you can just go see whenever you want. If you want to go see the Taj Mahal, you can go do that. If you want to go see the Sphinx in Egypt, you can do that. But you can't just watch a solar eclipse. So I recommend to all of you, go see it next time it happens, because you will not regret doing that. It is just such an amazing experience. So with that, I leave you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your eclipse experiences if you had any good ones down in the comments below. And I will be hosting all of the photographs for free download somewhere in the description if someone figure that out. So thank you guys once again, and I will see you in the next video.
NASA Voyager 1 spacecraft is in interstellar space, the space between the stars.
was super cool. Alright, so we are at the wrap up. I've got one more camera going. Essentially just kind of catching the end of the actual eclipse. Totality was incredible. There's not really an easy way to describe it. I'll have the pictures up either in this video, or if I can find a better way to host them, then the link will be in the description. But it's a life-changing experience. If you get a chance to get to the one in 2024, highly recommend it. Out.